Now, it's a problem that every professional sportsman and woman has to face up to at some point in their life. What do they do when they retire? That's the situation confronting Warwickshire's Turney, who became one of Britain's most successful Paralympic skiers after being paralysed following an accident. And she's here now. Good to see you, Anna.
Yes, likewise.
Now, you've been out and about filming for us, getting some tips on retirement, haven't you?
Yeah, it was fascinating. Because I'm going into retirement, I thought it'd be interesting to look and interview some of the athletes and see what struggles they have.
Yeah. OK, well, we'll talk more about your retirement itself in just a moment, but let's take a look at your report.
Thanks.
For the past 8 years, my entire sporting life has been going downhill fast. I'm addicted to speed, touching 70 miles an hour down a steep, icy slope on a monoski. I won 6 World Cup medals, I raced for Great Britain at 2 World Championships and 2 Paralympic Games. It took total dedication. But now, what next? I've decided to retire from professional sport and to focus on my career. It's a scary thought because athletes often struggle to adapt to the real world after their sporting careers are over. During my research, I've read lots of alarming one-liners, like too often retired athletes just can't cope with being retired athletes. It takes 4 to 8 years to adjust to a new life. And all of a sudden, you go from who's who to who's that? At the University of Wolverhampton, Andy Lane is Professor of Sports Psychology, and he's well aware of the challenges facing many retired athletes.
Sport has been the thing that has driven them to get up in the morning, to do, to really push themselves, and that stops. And when that stops, there's nothing stepping in its place, and that just creates a massive gap.
So Andy, give me one top tip for making a success of life after professional sport.
Find a goal that inspires you, that really motivates you, that is not related to sport, and start thinking through what that might be before you've retired. So that as you step into retirement, you're really enthused by trying to work towards that goal.
Jim Troughton is just a few months older than me, and we're facing a similar challenge. Last summer, a back injury forced him to retire as captain of Warwickshire.
Nothing will ever be able to fill that feeling of lifting a trophy or winning a medal, but there will always be goals and motivations that will hopefully keep you interested.
Chatting to Jim brought back some painful memories for me. 9 years ago, I was left paralysed from the waist down following a snowboarding accident. Naturally, I was devastated. But with huge support from family and friends, I was able to reinvent myself as a ski racer. But suffering from depression in retirement is far more common for cricketers than other athletes. I was shocked to learn that more than 150 have taken their own lives. Jim tells me the Professional Cricketers Association is working hard to help players cope with the transition. Now he's planning to forge a new career in coaching. And what advice would you give me?
It's just immersing yourself in as many things as you possibly can, getting yourself out there, dust yourself down, and the disappointments of having to give up something that you love doing, I'm sure there'll always be something else that you can refocus.
I've had so much good advice from Jim and Andy, but now it's all down to me. A new year, a fresh challenge, and lots of hard work ahead.
Well, Anna, plenty of good advice there, I'm sure, but you've been phenomenally successful. 6 World Championship medals to your name. Why retire?
It's time. It'd be harder to not retire because of the sacrifices you have to make as an athlete. You put everything into training. I'm abroad all the time. I hardly see my husband when I'm ski racing. And I want to really build a career.
Okay. So what about that? What about the career? What's next?
So I'm doing the motivational speaking, which is really exciting and I love. And I'm starting a project in central Birmingham working with unemployed young people and trying to help them into employment. And that's through the Dame Kelly Holmes Trust, and that's great.
But Anna, as exciting and rewarding, I'm sure, as all that sounds, is it really going to replace that adrenaline rush that you get from whizzing down a mountain at 70 miles an hour?
Probably not, to be fair. Depends how challenging the young people are, I suppose. No, nothing will replace that, But now I can go out, I can ski for fun, and not have the pressures of racing and worrying about that.
Are you looking forward to it, or are you a little bit scared, perhaps?
I think I am missing ski racing a bit, but mostly it's just being in the mountains and being able to do that.
Yeah. And just briefly, what do you think was the best bit of advice that you were given in that report that you did for us?
set a goal and really work hard to achieve the things that I enjoy doing. So now that I'm not ski racing, I have actually got time to spend with my husband and see my little nieces and nephews and do all those normal things.
Well, Anna, good luck with retirement. I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty more of you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.